take care of those people around you. Find the businesses that care to make a difference. Hey, there's a higher power. There's something more important, something bigger than you. Stay tuned. We're going to talk about business and those who are successful doing it here in our region. Giddy up. Come back in here. Welcome everybody to Your Little Castle Show. We a little pregame prep in between here. We just have some discussion and go over a little bit about what we want to talk about. But obviously, Greg knows what he's talking about. We've got him back here for another half an hour, and we talked about a few important things on that first show. If you missed the first show, check that out. All of our shows are stored on our YouTube channel. You can watch them in full. Click the link off of our website, yourlittlecastle.com. It says here to see all our past shows, and they're in order according to when we did the interview. Sometimes we air them in different order, but they're all there according to how we did the actual interview and the process. And most people have 2 interviews out there, so it's a good half hour you can learn quickly. If you do 2 full half hours, you really get to know our experts and what they bring to the community. And we wanted to highlight the smaller business owners out there who are doing a great job. Tell me though, Greg, as we talked about it, what's some of the expound upon? Yeah, that's a word, right? The mistake the homeowner makes, and chucking a truck we talked about, or what were we just talking about? Some of the big mistakes people make when they're getting a roof done.
Hiring a roofer that's not qualified to do the project.
Yes, because how often is somebody says, "Hey, I can do this," right? And so, what are the qualifications very often that they're lacking?
A lot of them are lacking the proper insurance to back them up.
Okay. Yeah, especially the guys, if you got the guys we talked about storm chasers a little bit too, and they're just like picking up a truck, driving to wherever the storm happened, and they really don't have things covered properly. And so then the big issue is if there's a problem, then how do you get that problem fixed? And they're long gone.
Right, so there's a lot of guys that come in and they're from out of town, and they'll do a job on your house, and then you have a leak and you go to call them, and they're not in the area no more.
Yeah, so you try to call them, and they call it the tail light warranty. The warranty is as good as long as you can see their tail lights, right?
Absolutely.
And that's not the kind of warranty you want, because if you've got a problem with the roof, could be a really expensive repair. What's the average repair you see that costs where somebody's getting something done?
I would say the average repair is probably anywhere from $400 to $800 just for a small repair.
Okay. And some of your bigger repairs, it could be up to and including the entire roof.
Could be thousands.
Thousands, okay. Expertise, everybody. Somebody with 40 years of experience. This might be the most experienced business owner we've had on the show here. That's a long time. But he started young. He's not that old, actually. And you can show your age if you want. But he's a young guy, plenty of years left. He's got people trying to offer to buy his company. He says, nope, I'm still in this. I like what I'm doing.
I'll continue to do what I'm doing. I'm only 60, so I think I got quite a few years left. I'll continue to go as long as God gives breath in my body. For me to continue on this path, I will.
There you go. Do it as long as God allows you to do so. My mom, if everybody knows, Mrs. Rethwish, Mrs. R, they call her, she's still teaching, and she's been doing this for 80, she's 82, sorry. She started, so 60, she's come on her 62nd year now. So, she started young when she was doing this a long time ago. But, hey, man, if you love what you're doing, you never work a day in your life. Is that what they say?
That's right.
I like it. Good stuff. Residential, commercial, a little bit of each, mostly residential, or what do you like? What do you do most of?
We do commercial and residential. I really like the commercial jobs because they're rather large and they pay good money.
Yeah, they pay well, and it's a little bit less of having to worry about the specifics with regard to like the homeowner standing there over your shoulder, but you don't mind working residential too. What percentage would you say you do of each?
I would say I probably do 75% of residential, 25% commercial.
Yeah, a good chunk. What kind of roofs do you typically put on some of your commercial buildings?
We usually do TPO roofs.
Okay. Is that thermal? What's that stand for? Thermal pressed. But it's those white-looking roofs, right?
Yes.
And they those last for a long time. But a lot of times are they flat? A little bit more.
Yeah,
often?
flat roofs. Yeah.
Okay. And a lot of your retail centers you see with those, and businesses need roofs too. So hey, make sure you get it properly installed. And what's the average roof go for on a commercial building?
You're talking 100,000 plus.
Okay. Yeah. So they need to have that put in. And is it often you're dealing with somebody who owns the whole strip mall and you do the whole thing for all the businesses inside the strip mall, or where do you get a lot of your business from?
Sure, we do a lot of work for the post offices, and so I get calls from them, and so
Okay.
we just got done with the roof repair drain out at the facility on Hazelwood.
Okay. Yeah. There's not too, how often are you fixing a commercial roof versus tearing it off? Do they last about the same, or what's the normal lifespan of a commercial roof?
Well, they usually want to do a repair. Occasionally, you'll come into wanting someone that will do a whole replacement, but they're into the smaller repairs, so they don't have to hit their pocketbook as hard.
Okay. Yeah. And then what do you like most about residential and what you do there?
I like it's very repetitive. You're doing the same thing over and over again, and I really like the customer satisfaction.
Yeah, when you get to deal, this is a homeowner. Like I said, they might be staring over your shoulder, but you know that this somebody really cares about what they're doing, and so you're impacting a family here many times to make sure that they've got a place to sleep.
Yeah, we're bringing it on the more of a personal level, making the homeowner happy, and when they look back and they see their home and they see everything looks good. When they walk around, they don't see nails all over the ground. Everything has been picked up. They feel good with having their children come out barefooted and run around the house, not getting nails in their feet or anything.
There you go. See, that's what we're talking about. Make sure that you do yes, get those nails picked up. How often is that the case? Somebody doesn't pay attention. Now, that's the last thing you want to run over with your tire, or worse than that, have a kid step on a nail. As kids during the summer, sometimes they run around barefoot, and or even if they had some shoes on, those nails could go through a sole.
Right. Plus puncture tires, so we make sure that we run magnets all around your home to make sure. That's one of the last things I do is go around and look to make sure there's no nails anywhere around your home.
Yes, okay. And St. Louis is a great community. We want to make sure we take care of those, especially the houses that we're working on. These are the people who live in our residential areas, so make sure you're doing those the best that you can. What do you like about the St. Louis area and working in this community? What is the St. Louis market?
I like the people are very friendly, and they usually compliment you about the work that you do, and you don't have problems with callbacks.
Yeah, nobody wants to have to go back and fix a problem, but St. Louis does a great job, and it's a great community. Everybody pretty much knows it. They say it's the biggest small town in the country, and everybody kind of knows everybody here. Would you say that's fair?
I would say that's fair.
And is that a good thing, especially if you've got a good reputation with somebody like you who's been doing this for 40 years?
I would say it's definitely a good thing. I always want to be personal with somebody, put it on that level where they can call me anytime. They have my direct number.
There you go, and that's what we've got on the screen there, everybody. 636-219-4587, gregs-roofing.com. And Greg, as I've been doing this for a long time, serving our community, making an impact here in a part of the world that we all find near and dear to our hearts, and especially if you're a Cardinal fan. We just started the season, everybody. Get ready for another exciting season with your St. Louis Cardinals. Tell me, though, as a matter of how many years you've been doing this, you've probably had this happen dozens of times, but a time when you recall when somebody was in a tough situation, you're like, don't worry, we're going to take care of this. Maybe another contractor didn't finish the job, but give me an example of a story. Not naming names, of course, but somebody you really helped out and you knew they needed some help.
Oh, well, just recently I went to a lady's house, and she was experiencing pests in her home, and we was talking, so I relatively did the job at a very reasonable cost. And then after having a conversation with her, I actually called her back and canceled the check that she wrote me. I just did the job for free.
There you go. Sometimes you could tell that that would really help her out. So then you said, hey,
Yeah.
this is one. And how big of a job was this? This was a pretty.
It was a small job, but it was very much something she needed done to keep pests out of her home.
Okay. Yeah, but pests do come in through the roof a lot of times too, right?
Yes.
That's where they can fly in and get any little hole they can get into.
Right.
Our little critters, and I'll never forget. I think it was yesterday. I'm helping my girlfriend. She's got an Airbnb, and she saw a wasp just sitting there on the trash can. They get a trash can to the sources of food, right? He was just sitting there. So I politely went and got a piece of toilet paper and took him and escorted him out of the building.
Yeah.
But these things, they could be hazardous. You don't want wasps and those kind of critters flying around your house. So you took care of this one.
Yes. You want to be very careful with pests in your home. They can also get in your attic and destroy things, and bring bad smell in your home as well.
Bad smells too. But yeah, termites, they'll eat the wood, right? And then you start to see, you ever seeing those little divots in the roof? Is that where some water has gotten in, or maybe some termites have got in there and they're deteriorating the wood?
Actually, yes. A lot of times when you expose wood, you'll see where termites have been in there eating and chewing away at your home.
They're chewing away at your home. That doesn't sound like a good thing for a house, but the roof is as important as anything. Foundations and all those things obviously important, but you see that roof, you want to make sure and take care of that. What's been a business challenge or something a challenge you've gone through and it said, oh wow, I didn't see that coming, but something you definitely learned from, made you stronger, you're still here. But give me a challenge you've overcome, something in the business world that you were like, oh, okay, taught you, and that's 40 years of experience. You've probably had a few challenges in your days in business here.
Yes, it's been very challenging dealing with some people. You just can't make everybody happy, but you always want to shoot for happiness, no matter what. I have replaced things because someone doesn't like the way that it looks. Even your eyes has to be appealing to what you're looking at. You want to be happy with what you're looking at. So satisfaction is always at the top of our line.
Yeah, make sure a customer's happy, right? It's a critical part of any business, and you've had a couple customers that were tough, and that's just the way it is. I mean, you can't make everybody happy, but do everything you can. 95, 99% of people, you'll get that one who just, something's going on in their head. It's hard to figure out, but work through those cases too.
Yeah, it happens. There's always going to be somebody that you can't make 100% happy, but you always have to strive for that perfection and do anything you can to make them happy.
That's important. Make the customer happy. Ultimately, it's your customers that talk to other people. Word of mouth is still very viable. These days we go through social media, through our word of mouth, if you will, and then we got Google reviews. Again, if you missed that first interview with Greg, we did a half an hour earlier, and great reviews, a lot of wonderful things people said about him and his company, and it's great to see somebody who does such good work in our community. I want to show off a little bit of some of the work that you've done, and I'll start off here. We'll jump back in some of this, but I put up on the wall here. But you will help people with their hang doors too. Tell me a little bit about what was going here. That's a beautiful door.
Yes, this is a door we installed for a customer. They was actually selling the home and wanted to make the front door new, so we tore the old door out and installed this nice new door.
Yeah, it looks good. I'm going to rotate here. There it is. You tore out the whole deal there, and a great review there. And some of the businesses here. You got some. What part of the house is that? Where you see the shingles?
That's the gable end.
The gable end. Okay, and obviously something there. But you do some bathrooms too.
Yes, this is the marble job we done not long ago. It was a very exciting job.
Yeah, that is one heck of a great looking. Wow, look at that, everybody on the TV wall up there. But man, wow, you make a bathroom look like that. That's dynamite.
Yes.
Fireplace.
This is actually a garage we made into a family room.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, that's an extended area. You can turn into a living quarters here, and some beautiful doors.
Yeah, this was the garage entry of that project, and then we put this French door in here.
Okay. And there you can see where there's the construction to build that. But all the way down to the wood, the studs. Is that garage you were talking about?
This is the garage, yes.
Yeah, quite a bit of work. Now look at this. Holy cow, this is a heck of a family room. Or is this the basement?
Yes,
Where is
that
this?
was the family room. That's the garage.
That's the garage efforts.
Yes.
Holy cow, that looks dynamite. Take a look at that one, everybody. Now, yeah, how many square feet did they add to their home by doing this?
Oh, I believe this was like 20 by 20, so you're talking 400 square feet.
Yeah, that's a good sized room there, 20 by 20. Well, with that, like I said, lots more fun in the community. We get to partake, and we'll be back.
Featuring Kansas City versus St. Louis. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. Standing 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighing in at 160 pounds. Representing Kansas City Guns and Hoses and the Platte County, Missouri Sheriff's Office. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Hannah Blacklock. And her opponent fighting 7 inches tall. She weighed in at 159 pounds. And she represents St. Louis Guns N' Hoses and the Belleville Police Department. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back Angelina Free.
You don't want to pick a fight with these girls.
His name is Carter Rethwich, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like no other. When he makes his rounds at almost every home game, he shares his love for sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rethwich was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. One of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going. And from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
So after my coma, I realized that it was up to me if I was going to accomplish my goals, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone, it's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up. Giddy up. By now, we are on ABC 5 times a week. So many businesses are loving what we're doing to help them get their name out there. We'll sit right here in our guest chair, right here, sitting here talking to us. We're going to put on the wall your website and everything about you, and highlight you as a leader. Fill out the form you see here on our website. It's bigleagues.com, and if you go to bigleagues.com, fill out this form. Takes just a couple seconds, and you can even schedule yourself right here. Schedule yourself to be on the show, and there's no charge for us to record you. There's no charge to be in the studio. Check it out if you would like to be on. Fill out the form again, bigleagues.com. This is where we can turn any interview into a series of clips. Professional video on your website closes more sales by instantly building trust, clearly explaining complex products, and keeping visitors engaged longer, reducing bounce rate by 34%. It'll help you to gain that credibility, increase engagement, simplify complex tasks, lower your sales friction, and boost your rankings on the search engine. So this is all kind of a no-brainer. See how we've now had over 500 interviews and now almost 250 different business owners. Go to bigleagues.com. That's bigleagues.com. Go to bigleagues.com and get signed up. You can schedule right from there. Well, there you have it, everybody. And we talk about how you can help our community and partake. Guns N' Hoses does a lot of good work. And we always share a little bit of clip about why I do this. Paul Brown, thanks, Paul. I saw Paul yesterday at the Cardinals game before festivities. He was over there by, Kilroy's and all those other guys who have a great patios. You had to go to patios. We always go to every game. We go to patios before and after the game. Great parking there. If you want to get good parking, go to patios. Go to the Cardinal game. You can walk gate 2. It's about a quarter of a block from there, maybe less, to get to the game. With that, this whole media thing, technology has changed the way people run their businesses. And Greg, he had to get a website. He had to get social media. You've got Facebook. That's where we're looking at. All your pictures are up here on your social media. But tell me, how has technology changed? Somebody's been doing this for 40 years, Go back before you had to hammer every nail. Now you've got those nail guns, right? Laser pointer, laser measuring. What are some of the differences you've seen in technology?
Technology is actually amazing. When I first started roofing, it was the old hatchet and hammer, and we went from that to air nailers, and they speed up the process quite a bit, make it a little bit easier.
Sure. What are some of the other changes you've seen? I mean, there's got to be a lot of things. Aerial views now with the eagle view, you can see the roof before you even go there, determine some of the hail damage, historical data, and all that kind of stuff.
Eagle View, Hover, a lot of good programs that we use. Mainly though, I'm kind of old school. I still go out and pull a tape measure and actually get up there and physically view the damage and take photos.
Yeah, there's so many times you can get pretty good coverage there, but when you get right in front of it, you can tell the granule loss, and there's just hands-on, live face-to-face. That's what we like to see. You think that's a better way to examine a roof?
Absolutely, you can go with a lot of programs, but there's nothing like the good old-fashioned eagle eye that's going to get up there and look and examine and take photos and show you exactly what the issue is.
Yes, hands-on. We've got these smartphones. At least when you're up there, though, but you can grab your smartphone in your pocket, get a really close, tight shot, and take it down and show the customer, and then make it a lot easier for them to understand that. A little technology integration there, but you were actually on the roof to see that.
Absolutely. We take photos, also may take a little video and explain where things are wrong and not right.
Okay. Make sure you do this the right way, getting on there, examining closely. That's what Greg's talking about. And these days, technology can help a lot, but there's a lot to be said for being up there and physically checking it out and see what's been going on a roof. Because again, $25,000 investment here. This isn't something you want to cut corners on.
Right.
All right. Tell me then, what are some of the mistakes with that in mind that other companies you've seen make? Not naming any companies, of course, but what are some of the mistakes you see that happen out there that you make sure people don't make?
A lot of companies will get up there and they misplace the nails. There's a certain place in a shingle that you're supposed to put a nail. Like you'll see a person that will put a nail right in the gap where the water is going to come down. It's going to actually cause a leak in your home.
Interesting, yeah. So it's just a matter of the process for installing the shingles. If you're not nailing them in the right place,
Right.
You got the nice gun, and it'll go and put the nail in for you. But if you're not putting it in the right way, you could actually be damaging the roof and causing setting you up for how long does it take for that problem to surface?
A problem could surface right away if a nail's put in the wrong location. You could start experiencing a leak after the first rain.
There you go. So obviously an owner who has real life experience, you've been up there and you've done this kind of work too, so you know how it gets done.
Yeah.
And so make sure that you've got the experts. A lot of people will talk about it, but they've never actually done it. You're a roofing guy who's actually done some roof work and been doing this for 40 years, so you've seen it all.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of everything.
All right. And in St. Louis, it's important to have an expert who can keep the maintenance there proper because, wow, how often do we get into expensive repair that somebody, if they just installed it correctly, that wouldn't have been an issue.
Exactly.
Take care of everybody. Do the proper installation. Well, tell me the process. Somebody wants to hire you, get a hold of you, go to your website, get your phone number, just give you a call. What happens after they get a hold of you?
Just give me a call. I'll tell you to forward your address, and I will personally be out to look and measure and give you a free estimate.
Yeah, so you'll go over you take a look at the damage, make sure. There's a lot of people that they think they have damage, they're not sure. It's better to have a roofer look at it than to call the insurance company first. What do you recommend somebody do?
Sure, I would recommend that you call me first and let me go out and look and then let you know if you have damage. And then I can meet your adjuster out on the job and we can go over the damage together.
Yeah, because some people, it's like going to court without a lawyer, right? You're not sure what you're doing, you don't know, but you will check that out. Because the other thing is you don't want to make a claim if you don't have damage because that gets us a ding on your insurance record too. Is that true?
Yes, it could actually make your insurance rates go up. So you want to always make sure that you have damage before you call your adjuster out.
Make sure you actually do have damage. And just because a storm came through doesn't guarantee that you've had a bunch of damage, because how often is it the storms, they swirl around and maybe hit one house right next to another house much harder than your house may have got hit.
Right. A lot of times I've seen that where a house across the street will get a lot of damage and then the house on the other side gets no damage at all.
But like you said earlier, you can get a house usually installed within 2 weeks.
Yes.
A roof installed, not a house installed, a roof installed.
Rough.
That's what we're talking about. But make sure I clarify it. That was me, everybody. What's the biggest objection? What's the biggest question people have for you? A lot of times, expensive decision here to get the insurance company involved or not. What's the biggest question you get from people?
The biggest question that I get from people is, are you going to do the job right?
Yeah, they've seen this before, and they want to question that a little bit because that's when they look at you up and say, all right, this guy's been around for 40 years, got the A+ on the BBB, he's got a high fours rating. You know what you're doing, and does that help you to get something? And then when they meet you, obviously they can tell you've been doing this for a while.
Sure, we take pride in what we do, and we always want to make the homeowner completely satisfied, along with making sure you're always protected.
Yes, make sure that you got this done correctly. Install with a professional and a guaranteed installation, because if you don't get it installed right, then the guarantees that come with the manufacturer of the product, the roofing materials, doesn't kick in unless it's installed correctly.
That's right. You always want to make sure that you follow the manufacturer's specifications. Make sure that you always have proper underlayment as well.
That's important. Underlayment too. That's changed over the years too, I think too. All right. Well, ultimately, what is it that gives you the most satisfaction about what you get to do here? You love what you do, but what makes you feel so good about it?
Customer satisfaction.
Okay. The customer satisfaction is what's most important to you for your own personal satisfaction.
Yes, I got to make a living, but at the same time, I like my customers to be completely satisfied with it. And when it's all completely said and done, they can look back and say, this is nice. We're glad we did this.
There you have it. Or take note on that one, everybody. Somebody says his satisfaction comes from his customer's satisfaction. And with years of doing this, you've had the opportunity to make many people very satisfied with the work that you've done. And that's what helps you get up every day to keep doing this for so long.
Gives me motivation.
Motivation to keep going, everybody. Well, if you're doing what's right, you're helping people. You're contributing to our community and helping, providing many jobs too. You said you've got a crew. What's the largest crew you've had, or how many people you've had on your team before?
I have up to 30 guys that work for me
Okay.
in the summer months.
Okay, in summer months, yeah. So it can be a seasonal thing, and a lot of times you do end up with a big team out there. How many roofs can you install in a week, would you say you normally do during the peak season?
In a big season, we can install five roofs a week.
5 roofs a week, everybody. These are guys who have been doing this for a long time. Let's finish up real quickly. What do you enjoy most about what you do to help the community? What do you think you contribute? You go to church on a regular basis, and your church do a lot to help too?
Yes, I think that the biggest thing in life is keeping God first. The Bible says, seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you.
Well said, and that's kind of the way the system works here, everybody. Take care of your neighbor as you would take care of yourself. Stay tuned, everybody. This is the Your Little Castle Show. We'll be talking to you soon. Giddy up.